Hello everybody, this is Orange, and welcome to my Abyss, and welcome to my June 2022 manga haul. Right next to me, I got a lovely collection of, I'd say over 20-ish manga, and also some comics as well. This has actually been I think one of my bigger hauls in a while. That's because for this month, it was kind of a convention season for me. I had a convention I had to go to, and luckily at that convention, they had a garage sale where they were selling some really interesting, like, out-of-print manga. I'm really excited to talk about that. But also, there were two bookstores around it that were both doing sales because they realized, oh god, it's convention season, the nerds are here, put it on discount, put it on sale. So I was able to get a lot of stuff through sales and garage sales, so super fun. So let's jump right into what I got. Starting with something I picked up at a garage sale at the convention is this volume 2 of Sailor Moon Supers. Now, I actually have Sailor Moon on the Kodansha release, not the Eternal editions, but I have that one in my collection already, fully. I don't know if I'm ever going to upgrade to the Eternal editions. I love Sailor Moon, guys. It's one of my favorite things ever. I got Sailor Moon shelf right back there, if you can make it out on the Garbo camera. But I love Sailor Moon. It's one of my favorite things ever, and I was actually really excited to see this left in the garage sale haul, because if you don't know, before Kodansha actually printed Sailor Moon in English, it was done by Tokyopop, and that logo and that name rings familiar to all my fellow, like, slightly older nerdos here, but also they're coming back a bit with publishing a bunch of new manga, which sounds interesting. Yeah, but I love this old edition of Sailor Moon. This old print is actually really interesting because they used like, not the correct names for the characters. It's really cool, because they, instead of calling Sailor Moon Usagi, in the original English dub, her name was Serena, but for some reason they call her Bunny in this. And I thought that is super interesting. Then it's like, all the other characters have their pretty much, like, normal, like, westernized names, like Greenie and, like, Amy instead of Ami. And it's interesting, and I love Sailor Moon, and I love having this piece of Sailor Moon history in my hands. It's great. And also I adore this cover. I adore the old covers of the old pocket size, like, Tokyo Pop editions. They're nice and small and adorable, but also the covers are super pretty as well. This cover is so good. It has, our 4 inners on it, minus Sailor Moon, and I love Sailor Moon. She's a great character, but it's also so interesting to see, like, the other girls get their time in the spotlight on this cover. Look at all of them. They're so cute and so good, and I love them. And the girlfriends are sitting next to each other. Happy Pride, fellow gay people. How we doing? And then beneath that, we have Volume 12 of Berserk. Slowly collecting Berserk, and if you don't know, I guess my knowledge of Berserk is I've watched the original 90s anime all the way through, then you pretty much know everything that happens after that via pop cultural osmosis and watching many video essays on Berserk. But, yep, we're pretty much reaching a point where I believe within the next volume or so, I'll no longer be, it'll be, like, out of what was covered in the original 90s anime and onto, like, new stuff. But if you don't know, this is, like, close to the end of the Golden Age arc, I assume, and we're at the point where it happens. If you know anything about Berserk, you know that there's a point where it happens, and oh boy, it gets intense, and we're starting it here, and I'm pretty sure it's going to continue on to the next volume. But yeah, I love Berserk. It's fantastic. The art is beautiful. Literally, like, look at a lot of trigger warnings if you ever want to, like, jump into this series. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I think it handles, like, most of it, like, really well from, like, what I've read and what I've heard. Very good. I can't wait to collect more Berserk. Always beautiful to have with me. Love you, Berserk. And then moving on from that, we have another Tokyo Pop thing that's out of print, and that's Pet Shop of Horrors Volume 7. Earlier this month, I went down to, like, a pier with my family, and there's a bookstore that I like going to, like, every year, because they have like, a really weird selection of books, and a really weirder selection of manga, if you can't tell. Why only Volume 7 of a series that's been out of print for 10 years? I don't know, but I'm happy it's here. And you can tell it was there for a while, because you can see the purple of what the spine is supposed to look like. Risque cover, too. Look at that. This character's somehow gay and homophobic. Happy Pride. But you have, like, a dark purple cover, like, how it's supposed to be, but it's so sun damaged that it's a light purple now. And I love Pet Shop of Horror. I love the 90s OVA so much. The dub's pretty fun, too. I like the dub a whole bunch, even though, like, 5% of it is just, like, people being homophobic towards Count D on the back. God, he's just a guy. Stop making fun of him. It's an interesting dub, but I love Pet Shop of Horrors. It's a really cool, like, series. It's episodic. It's like an episodic horror. A josei too, which I'm actually surprised that I don't have more josei in my collection than I do. I'm gonna fix that. But Pet Shop of Horror is a really interesting series where pretty much it's all episodic. You have Count D, a lovely, lovely gentleman on the back. The most lovely gentleman on the back, and he owns like a pet shop, and people come in like, oh my god, I can't pass my test, and he's like, here's a dog, and you walk in and that dog is like a woman in lingerie, and he's like, make sure you don't ever look at the dog in the eyes, and they're like, okay, I won't look at the dog in the eyes, and then they look the dog in the eyes, and then something bad happens, and that's pretty much the plot for all Pet Shop of Horror stories, but it's a good plot, well worn, well good. I eventually want to get my hands on like at least the original Pet Shop of Horror series, because there was a spin-off, Pet Shop of Horror's Tokyo, I believe. I believe they're both 10 issues long, but I want to get my hands on all the original ones because, I don't know, I like that. But, you know, it's going to be hard because it's a Tokyo Pop series from the early 2000s, so that's going to be really hard to get my hands on eventually, but I'll always keep an eye out to pick them up because Pet Shop of Horror is good, guys. Please, someone relicense all the old Tokyo Pop series that they dropped in the gutter. Please, for me. But it's a good time. I love it. Just a fun, good series. I love me some horror, too. Especially the josei horror. And beneath that, we have Mermaid Melody, Pitchy Pitchy Pitchy, Volume 1. This was also at the garage sale of the, yeah, this was at the garage sale of the convention. And I'm a big old Magical Girl fan. I love not just Sailor Moon, pumps in my heart, but I love all Magical Girls. Some more than others. And Mermaid Melody, Pitchy Pitchy Pitchy, it's a really like decent Magical Girl series. It's not my favorite one ever made, but I do know a lot of people are really big fans of it. It's not like up there, but like definitely it's a baseline, like this is a good Magical Girl series. I like it. The outfits are cute. It's a fun time. I love mermaids. They sing. And it's just a fun time. I do not think I'll be collecting the entirety of this series because, again, Mermaid Melody is my favorite like Magical Girl series out there, and this one is actually really hard to get your hands on too. But I just like I wanted to get more Magical Girl stuff in my collection in general, especially like the older 2000 stuff. Tokyo Mew Mew, guys, it's getting 3 reboot soon. I'm so excited. But also just cute to have around. I love me some Mermaid Melody. And I love like the early 2000s like shoujo art style where the eyes are humongous and everything is sparkly. And then like most anime adaptations of like early 2000s shoujo just look rough. We can't translate all the eye sparkles. We have a budget, guys. Spend the budget on the eye sparkles, you doinks. But Mermaid Melody, it's good. Check out the anime. I think you can find it all illegally on YouTube because no one really cares about Mermaid Melody but me. And beneath that we have, oh my god, yes! We have Town of Pigs. Now this is actually a release by an indie publishing brand called Starfruit Books. So check them out if you can because support the indie guys. Because manga shouldn't be a monopoly. More people should be publishing manga. And it also fits really well with kind of like the history of Town of Pigs. I got a lot to say. So Starfruit Books in general, they look like they publish a lot of like more indie manga, which is fantastic. And Town of Pigs was made by Hideshi Hino, my guy. He was a mangaka, and then directed some movies, and we're not talking about those movies today. Ooh boy, we're not. But he started out in working with in Japanese underground comics, which are all really interesting to go through. This is just going to be another recommendation. Watch the Cat Soup OVA or read Cat Soup. Cat Soup is very good. And he published alongside that in just indie comics, and I love to see it. And Hideshi Hino, this is like, ooh, this is some like really uncomfortable like horror we got here. Like a lot of like just the stuff that really makes my skin crawl in like ways which is all like, ah, ew, gross, nasty. And then it just gets so intense. And I love horror manga. Pet Shop of Horror over there is a horror manga. And I adore horror manga. And I adore Junji, and this is just me going on a tangent too. I adore horror manga and I adore Junji Ito. I have a twisted visions behind me, for God's sake. But I think that a lot of the manga publishing in the West is very Junji Ito-centric, where there's a lot of other like horror mangaka out there publishing like really cool stuff, or publish really cool stuff, because I believe this was an 80s series. And luckily, we are, especially this year, getting a lot more horror published from different authors. We have like Kazumo Umez, they're publishing Orochi, and they should republish Cat-Eyed Boy. That's just my opinion though. And there's tons of other like fantastic horror mangaka, like we're getting PTSD Radio published soon. Be Very Afraid of Inu Akano, I think. So more horror manga is being published, and I'm so excited. So hopefully this will open the door for more horror manga to be published outside of Japan that isn't just Junji Ito, my grandfather who I love and adore. Mr. Junji Ito, you are such a happy man in all your videos. Why do you write this? But this is great. I'd like to see more Hideshi Hino stuff get published over here too, because he has a lot of interesting stuff that's very hard to get your hands on. But I'm happy I got my hands on this. I don't know how many people were able to like purchase this as well, because like indie brand, so I don't know. I saw at least one other manga tuber who was able to get their little hands on this one. Us horror manga fans have to stick together. And underneath that, I have a copy of Witch and the Beast Volume 2. And I only picked up Volume 2 because I actually picked this up in store because convention, all the sales going on. I only picked up Volume 2 because they had like 4 volumes of number 3. But Kodansha, you gotta get your stuff together because like all of the issues of Volume 3 were so torn up along the spines. It's like, I can't buy this. Even like I think this one like isn't perfect spine wise. Like Kodansha, you gotta get better with your spines, especially if you're doing like the matte paper covers because they tear so easily on the shelf. But moving on from Kodansha not being good at publishing a lot of manga, well, The Witch and the Beast is still a good fun time. I love me some witchy vibes. The art in here is still beautiful. It's still nutso. I still love it so much. I love to see it. I love Witch and the Beast, and hopefully I'll be able to buy later volumes if the spines aren't torn to shreds. Beneath that, yes, Queen, we got Gangsta Volume 1. And my last haul I had Gangsta Volume 3. And it's harder to collect the early volumes of Gangsta for reasons I explained in the previous video. But long story short, the mangaka, she's sick, so she hasn't been able to publish a lot of, like, she hasn't been able to publish in general, which, you know, good. Take your time off if you need it, girl. This is a shout out to everyone who works hard. If you are not feeling well, do not go into work because it can be detrimental to your health. It will be detrimental to your health. So she hasn't been able to publish in a long time. And because of that, a lot of the earlier volumes like aren't being printed. So they're kind of hard to get your hands on. Getting my hands on number 2 is going to be a challenge. I know that, but I think it's worth it because Gangsta is fantastic. I love the characters. I love the setting. I love the artwork, especially. Oh my god, the facial expressions. Perfection. I love them so much. Look at my 2 beautiful men. Oh, they're wonderful. But I'm so happy I got my hands at least on Volume 1 of Gangsta. Hopefully I'll be able to catch up with the series. And hopefully the author she'll be able to start getting better. But take your time, girl. Take your time. We don't need manga over your health. Your health is more important than manga. Quote me there. Beneath that, we got Golden Kamuy, volumes 11 and 12. More Golden Kamuy, more good. My favorite cooking series. It's about cooking and nothing else. And it's so good. I love me some Golden Kamuy. It's just fun, good, but it hits you in the feels sometimes. This one ends on the best cliffhanger ever, where they... the most out of context spoiler. It's like they're all naked in a hot spring, and then it's like, oh no, we're being attacked while we're naked in a hot spring. And it's like, the author of this series, it's just man service. If you are a fan of the male form in any way, you read this artistically or in concept. Be like, I like me a muscle. You read Golden Kamuy. I read it because Sugimoto is my dad. And then we have, so I only have volume 7 right here, but I have Monster, volume 7, 8, and 9. I don't have any in my hands because actually, during the last time we met, my dad got really into this series and he started reading it, and I don't want to, he's on the last 2 volumes and I didn't want to take them away to film this stupid video. So I'm letting him keep them, or I'm keeping them outside so we can pick them up in case he finishes. But I haven't said it before. No one said this before, but Monster is one of the greatest series ever, and you should read it, and you should tell me your opinions on it, and especially tell me your opinions on Wolfgang Grimmer and how he's the best character ever written. I love Monster, it's so good. So yeah, I was able to collect the last few volumes of that, and Monster is fantastic. Actually, really funny is, I wasn't planning on collecting any more Monster this month, but my dad got so into it, and I told him that I didn't have all of them. He went out and bought the last 2, so thanks, Dad. That's Monster. And then below that, technically not a manga, but it's Devil's Candy. And if you don't know anything about me, when I was a young child, I watched the movie Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School, and it changed how my brain worked forever. And because of that, I've been obsessed with, school setting, but monsters? No way! So I've been obsessed with all those kinds of plot. I've watched me some Drag Pack. I've watched me Gravedale High. Casper and the Scare School injected into my veins. So I decided to pick this up because it was around that concept. Night School. Oh, how could I forget Night School? I'm off topic. But Devil's Candy is super fun, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I don't know how many volumes it will be, but it was actually, I think, originally written a while ago. And it was going to be published under the Tokyo Pop banner for a OELM manga, because, you know, not an actual manga. but it wasn't, because Tokyo Pop's OELMs, especially back in the day, were kind of sus. But I'm so happy I have it now, and it's being published by Viz under Viz Originals. And if we can get more like OELMs like published under Viz, that's really cool, because I like seeing pretty much like everyone jump into like the graphic novel or manga industry and be able to like just do it. The more comics, the better, in my opinion. That's just my humble opinion. I want more art. And below that, finishing the first pile and me needing to explain myself, we got a classic manga, Dracula. So if you don't know also what is happening currently, there's a email subscription you can subscribe to called Dracula Daily. And they send you bits and pieces of the Dracula story in real time. And I've become obsessed. I have brain rot for all of the Dracula, so I'm like, I'm just going to pick up the classic manga because I know they have it. So that explains it. Yay, vampires. Paprika. And below that, let's move you forward a little bit. Also technically not a manga, but I'm going to include it anyway because it's my video and you're 15 minutes in, 16 almost. And that is at the garage sale at the convention I went to. They were selling the season 2 of Ajin. And Ajin is for like $5. And Ajin is one of my favorite manga ever written. The anime is pretty good as well, but it goes in some really weird directions, especially in season 2. But it's like, it's Ajin, it's $5. I'm gonna pick it up just so I can talk about it more, just so I can have this. So this is a little like information booklet that came with it as well. So it has like character models, like location models, which I think is really interesting, like interviews with like the cast and crew. And I love Ajin. It's fantastic. The anime goes to some weird places. Watch it if you want. And talk to me about Ajin, please. Please talk to me about Ajin. And below that we have Beyond the Clouds, volumes 1 and 2. Now, I was actually watching some other manga tubers, because that's what us manga tubers do. Watch other manga tubers. I see y'all in my comment section. I'm a little baby and you're commenting on it. I thank you guys so much. I feel so warm and welcome to this community. But I was watching some Reversey videos, and she was talking about this series. And I've been seeing this series on the shelf for a long time, and it's like, oh, that looks cute. I might pick it up. But Reversey like was talking about it in one of her videos, and I'm like, oh, that sounds so cute. So I decided to finally pick it up. And it's really cute and really adorable. And I'm loving it so much. I love me a cutesy steampunk vibe. I'm having a great time with this. Yay! Thank you if you're watching it this far. You've commented on some of my videos before. But yeah, I really liked it. Good job. And the covers are beautiful too. I love the covers. Kodansha, you don't seem to mess up your covers too much when you're printing on glossy paper, but then again, like, I have volumes of Lander of Lustrous, like, out of my collection that have, like, nicked spines, and I take care of those with my entire life and being. Kodansha, get better at publishing your stuff, please, for me. So yeah, this is really cute, and I can't wait to pick up more. And beneath that, we have Hat Atelier, volumes 3, 4, 5, and 6. Ooh, this is a good one. I don't know why I didn't start collecting this series sooner, because it's been printing for a while, because I've been loving it with my whole heart. I think it's the Owl House brain rot really starting to kick into my brain, where it's like, I need more witches in my media. And it's just super fun, super cute, beautiful art. I can't wait to get more stories, super interesting, settings interesting. I love magic. Unpopular opinion, guys, I think magic's kind of cool. And then below that, we have Soul Eater, volumes 5 and 6. More Soul Eater, more good. I think with this, I'm caught up with what's currently published of the hardcover editions, so I can start pre-ordering that, and I'm excited for that, because I think getting manga through pre-order is kind of easier than getting it through backlog. So yeah, I love it. And the covers are really fun and cute. This one has Liz and Patty on it. Look at my girls, look at my girls! And then this one is Death the Kid, but I think Death the Kid is just like, he's blending into the background so much. You can't see my boy, he's invisible! Put you over there, and then we're gonna move on to a little we're gonna call it the comic chunk, but don't worry, at the end we're gonna go back to manga. Don't worry, I'll take my hand. And we have Sailor Twain and the Mermaid in the Hudson. So when I first got this in the mail, I was like, this looks like a normal book, like a textbook, like it has text in it, not pictures, but like but it is a comic book. I don't know why the cover is like this, and I don't know why, oh, this looks like something that isn't a comic book, but this one's really good. It has like nice spooky vibes. Good times right there. Below that, I have Wind Volume 1. Wind is a fun time too. I like this series a whole bunch. I actually got an ad for it in one of the comics I had for Free Comic Book Day, and I'm like, I'm gonna pick this boy up. And I did, and it's pretty enjoyable so far. I'm picking up, I think, Volume 2 next month, because there was only 2 volumes out so far. I don't know. I think there's going to be more. But I like this. The world is really cool. The artwork is really nice. I love the character designs, and I love how 24/7 all the characters look miserable as heck. Man, if that ain't me. But it's a good time. And also what really interested me is it says that the creators from the series won a GLAAD award. And it's like, hey, if they won a GLAAD award, it's already kind of gay. It's already pretty gay from this, but more. More gay, please. And below that, speaking of more gay, please, we have Space Battle Lunchtime, Volume 1, 2, and 3. Now, this is me pleading to you. Take my hand. If you are a fan of manga, and comics in general, read Space Battle Lunchtime. It is so good. I love it. I read this a few years ago and really enjoyed it then, and finally was like, I'm going to rebuy it, or I'm going to buy it and see if I still like it, and I love it. It's great. It's about our main character. She actually is enlisted in, or she's enlisted in, Hell's Kitchen, but in space, and it's wild and it's fun, and there's so many inventive, like, alien designs, and it's also gay as heck. Girlfriends, maybe? Maybe they kiss a little. Maybe they hold hands a little. I'm not going to tell you. But it's also a fun time with really beautiful art. The vibes are immaculate, and my day is wonderful. Thank you, Space Battle Lunchtime, for inventing comics. The pile is getting precarious. You can't see what's going on over here. And then we have Newsprints and Endgame. This one comes first, this one comes second. Good times right here. Beautiful art. Really fun, beautiful story. Love the character designs. The character designs are so juicy. Also, love me a series that, like, has, like, fairy tale characters, but, like, in real life. But good times, good setting, good, like, light steampunk. We love to see it. We love to see it. I love comics, guys. And then below that, we have Cheshire Crossing, which is only 1 volume, but I really think it could be more. It, like, leaves on a cliffhanger, and also, like, they could have explored so many more topics, like, related to it. But if you don't know Cheshire Crossing, it's about, Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, Alice from Alice in Wonderland, and Wendy from Peter Pan. And they go on an adventure throughout each other's worlds. And I do not know why it is this thin in only 1 volume. It's like, it should be more. There's so much more you can cover in this. But what I gotta think is, like, pretty good. It's really fun. I am a huge Wizard of Oz fan. Constant Wizard of Oz brain rot in here. Do not check my Twitter and my idea for a Wizard of Oz anime. I have too many ideas. And also, I'm a fan of Alice in Wonderland. And I can take or leave Peter Pan. It's okay. But 2 out of 3 ain't bad, and it's a good time, and I had a good time reading this, and I don't know why they didn't make more ever, because it is a good idea that they should do more of. And then, last comic, don't worry, I'm holding your hand. Title comic? It's Making Comics, and I actually got this from my brother, and this is pretty much a, like, guide or, like, textbook on, like, here's some tips and tricks to making comics and making comics good. Good tips for you. This is, like, kind of suggested for, like, most people who want to make comics, and I want to make comics. And also, I think it's good to, like, understand the comics you read on a basic level. Good stuff. And below that, don't worry, we're back to manga. Don't worry. You're gonna hear a crash. Don't worry, we're back to manga. I have your hand. And that is a really great fun find that I'm so excited about that I found at the Garage Sale Convention. And that's Magical Pokemon Journeys, volumes, Volume 3, number 3, Volume 5, number 4, and Volume 6, number 1. So, if you don't know, like in the late 90s when Pokemon was, like, first made, they were, like, doing a lot of weird things to, like, market it. And they were publishing a bunch of different manga, to, like, kind of capitalize on it and, like, seems like aim at a bunch of demographics. Like, you have the Pokemon Adventures, which I have the complete collectors of there. You have, like, more comedy-based Pokemon manga. And this one was a Pokemon manga aimed towards girls. It's a shoujo Pokemon manga. And it only exists in English with these prints, with these, like, thin baby prints. And also the Electric Tales of Pikachu, too. That one doesn't exist either. Or barely exists. I've talked about that one before. But yeah, I saw these and I was, like, shocked. So I picked up, like, the 3 of my favorite covers and then left the rest of them for other Pokemon fans who want to dive into this wildness too. But it's a really cute, like, episodic Pokemon manga with beautiful shoujo art. The Pokemon are so cute. It is unreasonable. It's fantastic. But also, I want to see, like, older Pokemon manga, like, start to get, like, republished in America again. Or just in general. Like, we have the Pokemon Adventures, like, out there. And I love Pokemon Adventures, like, with my entire being. And it's fan, and the collector's editions like came out, and it's like, it's a great series, but it's like, why not reprint like other Pokemon manga? You could reprint the Electric Tales of Pikachu again and have to censor all the artwork again, because maybe you shouldn't have gotten a hentai artist to make your Pokemon manga. But I don't know, I think this would be fun to publish again, because it's just cute shoujo. Cute, really fluffy shoujo. And who doesn't like some? Who doesn't like some nice, pretty sparkles in their life? Especially Pokemon. I also just pick the ones with like the cutest covers or like the funniest chapter concepts. Look at that. Look at that Eevee. Eevee's an orb. Why are you like that, baby? I love it so much. And yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. What manga did you collect this month? I was gonna say year. But also, yeah, what manga did you collect this year? Tell me. Give me an essay. What manga did you collect this month? Do you like my recommendations? Was there anything that interested you, or do you think would interest me? Tell me in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely night.